horseshoe is back.
What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Bring the Juice podcast. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've learned from the Colts so far through the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. Before we get into that, though, I want to do a quick word about our sponsor.
What's up, football fans? Do you want an advantage on your sports betting this year? You need to download BetQL, the only app you'll need to make smart bets. Their computer model scans hundreds of thousands of bets every year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports. Their model covers everything from spreads, over-unders, to player prop bets. If you don't want to use their model and use your own research, that's fine. They can help you with your researching needs. There's sharp data to know who the pros are backing, the line movement so you can jump on betting opportunities in real time, team summaries highlighting previous success and over-unders and spreads, and team lineup, breaking news, and injury status updates. Plus, you can save all your picks in one place to track your success on leaderboards and rankings. Head to the App Store or Google Play now to download BetQL. You can also head to try.betql.co/juice to get started. Enter the discount code JUICE for a 25% off any of their subscription offerings. Find all this information here in the description, and make sure to check out their BetMGM in the description to receive a free year of BetQL. No subscription status is nothing. Also, check out their sportsbook offer pages if you live in an eligible state for free offers upon signing up. Don't miss out on the chance to beat your sportsbooks this football season.
So, first 2 weeks of the NFL season have pretty much been concluded. The Colts not off to a great start, as we've clearly stated. And, there's a lot of reasons for this, and I'm going to break down a bunch of different reasons why that is and what we've learned about this group so far. Okay, so at least what we've seen so far. Now, again, I remind everybody before they go saying that I'm way too critical of this team. Again, I was one of these people who had high praise for this team, and I still do. But I also think it's important that we recognize the failures and the flaws in this team right now. And I also believe that this team can do better and will do better. But right now, we need to point out the obvious and some of the not obvious and then break it down. Okay, so first off, Carson Wentz. I already did a video on how the Colts are failing him right now at this moment in time. If you haven't checked out that video, I highly encourage you to go do it, because I got into my feelings a little bit there, but I tried to keep it down. How many of you actually thought that 2 weeks through the season, Carson Wentz would be our best player? Who would have thought that? I mean, that's a great thing. That's a great thing if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, right? You wanted him to be the leader. You wanted him to be the provider. You wanted him to be the guy to lead you in games. And so far, he's done that. But now your issue is you have an injured quarterback now. And why is that? We're about to get into that here in a second. But overall, from what I've learned from Carson Wentz has still got it. In my opinion, Carson Wentz has still got it. He has shown me he's got a cannon of an arm. He's still accurate. He still can make good throws. And in pressure can still evade, use his legs. He's good at that stuff. He's shown me. And I've seen a lot of it already. I've seen a lot of moving on the run, having to avoid pressure, making good throws, and against good defenses too, by the way. I've seen it, and it's working. Only problem is a group on the offensive line just can't seem to figure out how to block people consistently. And that's the issue we're having here, guys. I mean, I would say that this is not like a recurring issue, but I want to point something out. I mentioned in the previous Wentz video that there was a trend going on with this team right now. And it's not just with the offensive line. It's with the whole team. But the offensive line certainly is no exception either in this. The offensive line starts out really, really slow in the first couple weeks of the season. Don't understand why. In 2020, first couple weeks of the season, we're seeing the same thing we're seeing right now, man. Unable to block, run blocking especially. Run blocking, just not creating holes, getting stuffed in the red zone, unable to really protect our quarterback the way we want to. Even though in 2020, Phillip Rivers was protected a lot more frequently than what Carson Wentz is right now in 2021. Now, I get it that offensive line then was a lot more healthy than what it is right now, which is another thing that's going on right now, is that injuries have plagued this Colts team. Not sure exactly why it keeps happening. Maybe it's just absolute unfortunate luck. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's bad medical preparation or by the team's doctors. Maybe it's bad juju. Maybe it's bad warming up. Maybe it's not getting guys ready to play in certain circumstances type thing. It could be a lot of things. But all I know is these injuries continue to just suck, and they continue to pile up. And the Colts offensive line right now is hurt. It is hurt bad. The only person on that offensive line that is not dealing with a lingering injury right now is the right guard, Mark Lewinsky. The only one. But back on the topic of everything else, I get it that offensive line was healthier last year to start the year out. But the concept is still the same. Still having the same issues that we saw at the beginning of last year. So why is that continuing to keep happening and not getting fixed? We'll talk about a couple reasons why here in a little bit. But another thing I wanted to mention on the offensive side of things is I like what I've seen from the wide receiver group so far. Now let me explain why. I saw great resolve in week 2 versus the week 1 game. Week 1 game, it seemed like, I think the defensive schemes helped with the Colts in week 2. I think Trent from Rams Talk gave us an exact quote that I thought was exactly right, was that the Rams are going to force you to go deep. They want you to try and make the big play, but they think they can get you. And they're going to let you go those long drives and get you to make mistakes at the end. And sure enough, that was exactly what happened. The Colts were able to drive down the field. We did exactly what we needed to do. Just couldn't convert in the red zone. But I like what I saw from the wide receivers this time. Pittman really resolved in the second game. Really found his mojo again. Zach Pascal continuing to be a dog. Now, granted, that was probably those were the only 2 receivers that got going at all for the Indianapolis Colts in week 2. The rest are injured or just didn't be utilized at all. And also, where are the tight ends? Molly Cox, I think, had 1 catch yesterday or Sunday. And Granson hasn't been used at all, other than for occasional blocking, but Granson hasn't been used at all. I don't think he's even made a catch. And Jack Doyle's still getting the majority of the catches. Now, granted, I think Jack Doyle did a great job Sunday. I think Jack Doyle did a good job Sunday. But I also believe that we could use Mo Alley Cox and Granson in a lot more different ways. And then again, it goes all the way back to play calling and lack of execution on the offense. Guys, I mean, we've had these discussions for a while now, but it's been evident. It's been evident, and we're seeing a constant trend towards the beginning of the year. The Colts are not ready for games in the beginning part of the season. I'm not calling for anyone's job here, and I'm still a big supporter of the coaching staff and the GM. Obviously, I'm not really talking about Ballard here. I'm talking more about the coaches. But something has to start changing for the beginning of the season. Colts have not won a game opener since Frank Reich has become head coach. The defense always comes out flat. The offensive line just seems to not be able to block. The offense just seems stagnant in how they run their plays. Obviously, execution has a lot to do with it. But what about these other teams? These other teams are executing better than us. So where does that come from? It has a lot, I think, to do with coaching. I don't think this team is being coached properly at the beginning of the year to be executing when it matters the first time we step on a regular season home opening or road opening game. And that's been proven. It keeps happening every year. And we're seeing it again and again and again and again. And it's happened again. Coach Reich, man, we got to figure something out, dude. We got to stop with these slow starts to the year all the time. Started 1-5 in 2018. Now, granted, we made the playoffs that year, but barely. 2019, I'll give you somewhat credit for that because Andrew Luck stopped playing football midway through preseason. Okay, I'll give you that one. 2020, lost the road opener to Jacksonville. Almost gave up 100% completion percentage to Gardner Minshew. How we lost that game, I have no clue. And it almost came back to haunt us at the end of the year. And right now, 0-2. Same old crap. Same spot. Again, it's a constant trend. Just going on every year, and it just doesn't seem to be getting better. I get it's your fourth different quarterback in all those 4 seasons, but what about the rest of the team? So far, in the first 2 games, your quarterback has not been the issue. And that was what a lot of people thought was actually going to be the issue. Was Carson Wentz going to actually be a good quarterback? And he has been. The running backs aren't getting big runs. The offensive line's not blocking. The receivers, except for game 2, week 1 couldn't get any separation. You're not utilizing Paris Campbell as much. And then, so what's going on? You know, that's what I'm trying to find out. And I'm sure we're going to have some answers here over the next couple weeks. I get it. But right now, what we've learned so far is this offense has got to start clicking. The execution has to get better. And I'm sure it will get better when the injuries start coming back down to earth a little bit. But right now, it's not executing. And the decisions to go for it on 4th down are killing us right now. A lot of close games right now that the Colts have had that could have probably maybe gone a different direction had we just gone for extra points and field goals rather than trying to get pretty with it. Again, we've said our displeasure with how aggressive it is that Reich has been. I think most of Colts Nation is okay with how aggressive Reich is. But I think it also comes to a point in time when you need to start being smart. You know your offense is not getting it done in the red zone. It is a smart idea to not go for it on 4th down and 1 or 2 or 3 when you can just get points. Right now, that's kind of the important topic right now. And then the defense. Cody kind of brought it up a lot on Twitter the other day, and he was kind of right. I mean, where's the pass rush, dude? I know a lot of our pass rushers haven't primarily been the healthiest, but Kwity Paye's got virtually no pressure. Grover Stewart's obviously not doing it. Al-Quadin Muhammad, I believe, has 2 sacks on the year. I know it's at least 1. I think it's 1 or 2. I know Buckner has been getting some pressure on quarterbacks. You know, he's been getting some, but in the grand scheme of things, I would like him to do a little better. Ben Manigu's not been doing much. Kamoko Toure has not been doing anything. Where's the pass rush, dude? I mean, again, I think I was right when I stated we needed to have a little less expectations on Kwity Paye to start this year out. He's still a raw prospect. Kamoko Torres, I don't think is fully healthy yet. I don't think he's in the right mindset yet. Not sure on that one. DeForest Buckner's been getting some results, and I like that. But, again, I felt like we could be doing a little more with him. Grover Stewart's not been getting pressure. And the run defense hasn't been great either. I mean, guys, we've given up over 160 yards. In total, I think we've given up probably 200 rushing yards in the first 2 weeks of the season. Almost about 100 yards a game. I think it might actually be more than that. Either way, it's pretty close. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. And then the secondary and the linebackers. Linebackers not making tackles. I know Darius Leonard's been kind of hurt a little bit. He seems like it because he doesn't seem very fast. Obviously, Xavier Rhodes has been out this whole season, and it sucks so far. It'd be nice to have that veteran presence back. The defensive schemes that we've been allowing has just been bad. Cooper Kupp had an absolute clinic on us in week 2. Absolute clinic. Tyler Lockett had a clinic on us, getting deep on us a bunch of times. And again, it's bad scheming and bad execution. Safeties need to do a better job of not allowing things deep. Overall here, guys, I mean, this has been very rough, to have to deal with right now because, what we've learned from this defense, it's got to get healthier. It's got to get tighter. Man, I mean, we got to start changing something here because this zone scheme will not work. We said it in the post game. This zone scheme will not work if we can't get pressure on the quarterback. I know Eberflus wants to be a zone defense. I know they do. But until you actually get a pass rush presence, this team will forever give up 300 plus yards passing on any given day. We'll give up 2 to 3 passing touchdowns. We'll get brought all the way down to the edge of the field and try to make a play. And we'll continue to probably get torched towards the end of the season. If we can't get a pass rush, the zone is not going to work. It's already not worked so far, and it's not going to continue to work unless we get more pressure. How do we get pressure? I'm going to leave that up to Eberflus to figure out because it's going to need to happen. And if we have to start switching to man to be able to actually start, playing a more different style of defense until we can start getting consistent pressure, then that's what you need to do. That might be what you need to do. But like I said, I'm going to leave that to Eberflus. So what have we learned? This team as a whole has got to start executing. It's got to get healthier. It's got to execute the playbook better. And it's also got to be taught better. Putting guys in game time situations better than what they are right now. Overall, this whole team is having issues. Besides pretty much Carson Wentz. His only issue is not getting destroyed by the opposing defense because we can't block right now. And, of course, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you guys, I know the Colts players feel the exact same way. I know they understand that things need to get better. I don't have to tell them that. I know they know that. But I'm just telling you guys what we've learned and what I know we need to execute better. And like I said in the beginning, I have confidence that this team is going to get better. I have confidence that this team's going to try and turn it around. But right now, this team is struggling big time, and it needs to start changing now. Because I said it on Twitter the other day. The Colts are playing the Titans this week. And if we lose, we very may well be remaining dead last in the AFC South, and we may not catch up to the Tennessee Titans at any point in this season if we go down like this. If we go down 0-3, I project the Jacksonville Jaguars to go 0-3, and they would be 0-1. But then again, we're not judging ourselves based off the Jaguars. We're basing it off the Titans. And the Titans would be 2-1 and 1-0 in the division. They'd be way ahead of us at that point. Being in that situation, we can't allow that. So that one's a must win for me. So the Colts are going to have a lot to figure out this week because they got to get it done. Or else this is going to be a really long season going forward from here. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. Let me know what you guys think of what we've learned so far throughout this Colts season so far. Again, try to be somewhat optimistic. I know some of you are very angry, as I am as well. But we need to try to stick behind this team, and we need to see what happens going forward. Okay? I'm going to stick that way as long as I can until I have a reason not to. Okay? Thank you guys so much again for the support. And as always, go Colts.
Once again, thank you to our sponsor, BetQL, the only app you will need to beat your sportsbooks. Find their information along with a 25% off discount code in the description of this video. Make sure you go check that out. And also check out their special BetMGM offer in the description in order to receive a free year of BetQL and other sportsbook sign-up offers and bonuses.